Hey, so this just in today, just just in. I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about the headline and I'm going to get into it. And I'm going to let you guys see my screen. So there's been a new development. New US visa suspensions for a total of 75 countries, Nigeria included on that list. So this is a temporary suspension of immigrant visa. And just so you guys know, the door is still open for those who are qualified to enter the United States. But as you know, this isn't just a United States matter. Everybody is tightening immigration. Literally, everybody. Canada is tightening immigration. The UK is tightening. Europe is tightening. The United Arab Emirates, UAE, is tightening. Everybody is tightening their immigration. They are becoming more and more selective. I think in some way, isn't Nigeria also tightening its grip on immigration, especially what's happening in the border? So it's nothing new. It's nothing to be alarmed about. It's just a temporary ban. Well, sorry, I should rephrase that. I take that back. It's not a ban. Put it this way, it's just a pause. Now we're going to look at some people might think, well, is Nigeria being singled out? Of course, Nigeria is not being singled out. 75 countries in all. Am I happy that Nigeria is on that list? Of course not. With so much that's going on in the country, with the potential that Nigeria has, it is slightly embarrassing that we're on that list. But listen, we have company. We have 74 other countries on that list. And we're going to look at that list. This is from The Guardian. This is from The Guardian on Yahoo. I'm going to pull that up in a second and let you guys look at it. Then we'll go over it to see what this is all about. Let's see here. Okay, I'm at the right. All right. So we're going to look at this list together. Then we're going to interpret it, see what it means, see what it's all about. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay, so the Trump administration, there it is right there. There's a slight delay on my end because I'm using the Zoom interface. Okay, so there it is right there. I'm looking at my screen. Okay, so let's look at this article from The Guardian, and then once we're done looking at the article, we're gonna go over the list of the 75 countries impacted by this immigration hold. So this was written by Joseph Godion in Washington, D.C. from The Guardian. Trump administration halts immigrant visa processing from 75 countries. Let's see what this is about. So the administration has, oh, whoa, indefinitely. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not good. That's not good. So the administration has indefinitely suspended immigrant visa processing for people from 75 countries, marking one of its most expansive efforts yet to restrict legal pathways to the United States. The freeze, which takes effect on the 21st of January, so what, a week from now, targets applicants officials deem likely to become a public charge, who they describe as people who may rely on oh my God, on government benefits for basic needs. The State Department wrote on social media that it will pause immigrant visa processing from 75 countries whose migrants take welfare from the American people at unacceptable rates. So let's look at the State Department's Twitter handle, the X post. This happened at 8:40 a.m. today, January 14th, 2026. So it's just a little bit of a post here. The State Department will pause immigrant visa processing from 75 countries whose migrants take welfare from the American people at unacceptable rates. The freeze will remain active until the U.S. can ensure that new immigrants will not extract wealth from the American people. This is not good. I'm not talking about just for Nigeria. I'm talking about for the 75 countries and 75 people from the 75 countries affected. I mean, we're looking at an indefinite freeze here. Indefinite may last, honestly, and I am just being a little bit, I don't know how I want to describe this, but remember, this administration still has, what, 3 more years to go? This could potentially, I hope it does not, last until the end of the Donald Trump administration, which wraps up, what, 3 years from now? So we're looking at, what, 2029? Let's just hope that's not the case. I mean, who knows? So that's from the official State Department Twitter X handle. I'm still kind of getting used to this X thing. I'm not active on Twitter, so I still kind of call it Twitter, but it's officially, I mean, it's X. So we've looked at what the State Department wrote on their social media page. Let's see if I mean, it doesn't get any more, I guess, descriptive than this. They've highlighted it. They say that these people are coming in to take American jobs, to breathe American air, to take resources from the American people. That's what it pretty much means. And then what? They depend on the American welfare system. Keep in mind that the United States is a melting pot of immigrants, isn't it? I would say it's a melting pot of immigrants. Who's the richest man in the world today? Elon Musk. He's an immigrant. His lineage is from South Africa. He's Canadian as well. He's an immigrant. Some of the most successful people in America, some of the people who helped build American infrastructure, all most immigrated from another country for a better life in the United States. Yesterday, I said that 50% of artificial intelligence researchers, these are people who are building the AI tech stacks and artificial intelligence platforms that we all use today, the AI platforms that's going to help eventually break wide open the global GDP that's currently $100 trillion right now. Artificial intelligence is projected to break that ceiling wide open to maybe even 300 trillion. 50% of those are Chinese nationals, guys. which, by the way, the United States of America is trying to court. I wonder if China is on this list. We're going to look at the list together of the 75 countries impacted. Just so you know, so we all know, immigrants are the backbone of the American economy. But that notwithstanding, not all immigrants, though. But does it justify the 75 country ban? Yes, there are some people who are around trying to game the system, not willing to become a part of the American ecosystem. But when you look at some of the most successful people, Sergey Brin, founder of Google, he's an immigrant. Nothing against the Donald Trump administration, or actually, you know, some parts of the administration is doing great things, other parts is questionable, depending on who you ask. But 75, that is expansive. That is a lot of countries. Look, how many countries are there in the world? 190 something. So you're automatically cutting off about 40% of all of the countries in the world with this immigrant visa freeze. But let's continue. You know, another thing too, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it does not apply to you, it's okay. Take it with a grain of salt. So let's move on with this. The Guardian obtained a State Department cable with the full list of countries. I'm going to share that with you once I'm done reading this. Quote unquote, the freeze will remain active until the US can ensure that new immigrants will not extract wealth from the American people, the statement continued. We are working to ensure the generosity of the American people will no longer be abused. So, what is the criteria of wealth extraction? Like, how will you determine that somebody no longer takes, but also gives to the American economy? That is to be determined. It's a little bit troublesome, though, wouldn't you agree? And again, we don't know about for people who have existing pending immigrant visa application right now. I wonder if that is also affected, if that is like completely just frozen, or does this apply to new people? Remember, this takes effect 7 days from now. That is not enough time. It's not as if they can speed through people's immigration, pending immigration application. So is that just cold turkey? Is that a cold turkey freeze? Meaning just dead in the tracks. Could you imagine if you had applied for visa into the United States and you have an interview that's scheduled for, let's say, the 22nd of January, because this goes into effect on the 21st. So let's say you have an interview scheduled for the 22nd of January, then what happens? Is that automatically canceled? Doors slammed shut? What happens to true entrepreneurs, enterprising, law-abiding citizens of these countries? What happens? Are they also affected by it? How do you single out? I really want to know how they're planning on doing this, singling out people who you would like you profiling. How do you profile and look at somebody and say, okay, this one is coming in to extract wealth, and this one is coming in to contribute to the United States. How are they going to make that determination? How are they going to do that? With everything that's happening in the United States right now, I'm telling you, with what ICE is doing right now in the United States, for those who are paying attention, the Donald Trump presidency is really going all out to really push people out of the United States. It's already becoming difficult. I mean, we are losing. If you think about it, the tourism in the United States has actually dropped. Las Vegas, where I live, 42 million people come to Las Vegas every single year. It has dropped significantly since the Donald Trump administration got into office. And also, sometimes when you push people away, it may be extremely difficult to get them back. You know that there's going to be a domino effect, right? We're already seeing it right now. Last week, go ahead and look at the podcast on Canada. It's gotten over 1,300 views. We talked about Canada. This is specific to Nigeria, though. 366 Nigerians deported out of, actually, it's actually a lot more because that metric was from January to October. 366. That's 10 months. So you're looking at what, an average of 36 people per month. 36 Nigerians a month are deported, were deported from Canada in 2025. So if we were to do the math quickly, 12 times 36, so a total of about 432 Nigerians would have been deported out of Canada in 2025. So the domino effect is real. I said Canada is tightening immigration. In addition to that 366 Nigerians deported, 974 pending deportation from Canada. But when you push people to the wall, it's going to be extremely hard for you to gain them back. But then again, though, could this also be a good thing? I mean, if you can't come into the United States, let's say you're part of the, belong to the countries, 75 countries affected, and you can't come into the United States, do you think that this motivates or encourages the governments of the 75 countries affected to be able to create an enabling environment so migrants wouldn't have to leave, so people wouldn't have to leave the country? Nigeria, as an example, if Nigeria were an enabling environment, would most people leave? It's okay for you to travel out of the country on vacation, but would they really leave I mean, would they really move out permanently if Nigeria were an enabling environment? Or if the other 74 countries affected? Would people stay if things were good relative to the United States? Remember, this is all subjective. America is a great nation, but there are also a lot of people suffering in the United States of America. I mean, the homelessness in the United States is beyond. I lived in Los Angeles for what, 12 years. The homelessness in LA. I mean, even Las Vegas, where I live, the homelessness here, the drug abuse. But on the flip side of that coin, it's also a global force. You could literally pick yourself off the ground in the United States and turn yourself around, turn your life around at the drop of a dime. So we can look at this freeze positively, or we can choose to look at it negatively. So let's continue. You see, this rhetoric written here, we are working to ensure the generosity of the American people will no longer be abused. The Trump administration's crackdown on immigration has intensified to record levels, even as nationwide protest over the killing of Renee Good in Minnesota, where my wife Kate is from. Kate's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Have drawn attention to law enforcement practices. The State Department says it revoked more than 100,000 visas since Trump returned to office. While the Homeland Security Department reported last month that more than 605,000 people, whoa, 605,000 people have been deported. Wait a minute, is that since Trump returned to office? Interesting. While an additional 2.5 million left the country on their own. The administration has particularly okay, Somali Americans. The administration has particularly focused on Somali Americans. And by the way, guys, Minnesota has one of the largest populations of Somali Americans in the United States. So they've zeroed in on the Somalis following fraud allegations and federal investigations in Minnesota. Trump referred to the Minnesota Democrats, Ilhan Omar, who is at my front gate. Okay. As I'm not going to say that word, during a cabinet meeting last month and said he did not want Somalis in the US and they should go back to where they came from. That's deep. That is deep. The pause follows Trump's December expansion of travel bans to 39 countries. By the way, Nigeria was on that original list of Nigeria wasn't technically banned, Nigeria was restricted. So the pause follows Trump's December expansion of travel bans to 39 countries, suspension of asylum processing, and halting of citizenship and green card. Whoa, 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 whoa. You see, this is what I was talking about earlier. If you already have a pending application for your green card and for your citizen, I mean, I wasn't born in the United States. I'm a naturalized US citizen. I got my naturalization in 2000. So I can could you imagine if this had happened to me in 2000? When you were in the process of applying to become a United States citizen. And then right in the middle of that process, you get an email saying, we are halting this indefinitely. That would have been rough. So for those who were in the process of obtaining their citizenship and green card application of the countries already subjected to the restrictions, the pause and the freeze would have affected them. Research contradicts administration claims about immigrant welfare use. In February of 2025, the Libertarian Cato Institute published a paper. I'm not going to open up that link, showing that native born Americans consumed, on an average per capita basis, more welfare and entitlement benefits than all immigrants combined. The study found immigrants consumed 21% fewer welfare and entitlement benefits than native born Americans on a per capita basis in 2022. So, what does this really mean? Does the President of the United States have an agenda or have an axe to grind against people who are not Americans? We're going to look at the list together and see if China, I highly doubt that China is on that list. Obviously, the United Kingdom is not on there. We can all agree. Canada might not even be on there. We can all agree. So, migration policy experts also warn the move will have far-fetching consequences beyond those directly affected by visa denials. The likely result will be that many immigrant families will be afraid to access any public benefits for which a household member is eligible, foregoing supports in times of need to preserve future immigration prospects. Julia Gillat, Associate Director of the United States Immigration Policy Program at the Migration Policy Institute, wrote in an analysis posted on Wednesday. During a State of the Union address during Donald Trump's first term in office, Trump held the position that he supports legal immigration because immigrants enrich, I said that right? Immigrants are the backbone of the United States economy. I mean, Native Americans too. Native meaning native born. It's a melting pot. You can't throw a stick across the lawn in the United States without hitting an immigrant. It's part of the American culture. It's part of the fabric of the United States. Migrants, I mean. So, because immigrants enrich our nation and strengthen our society in countless ways, he went on to say in the same speech that he wanted people to enter the United States in the largest numbers ever. But they have to come in legally. Okay, so then what's changed from the first administration till now? What changed? Now let's look at, okay, it's pretty much the same thing from the Hill. So let's look at the list of all of the countries affected. This is it right here. All right. You guys can see that list in alphabetical order. Afghanistan, that goes without saying. Albania, Algeria, Antigua and Barbuda, Armenia. Is it Azerbaijan? The Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belarus is on that list. Belize, Bhutan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Brazil, the largest exporter of meat into the US. Brazil is on that list. Myanmar, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Colombia, Cote d'Ivoire. Kind of appears to me like a lot of African countries are going to be on this list. What, 36 countries? Well, how many countries do we have in Africa? 50 something? 54, 52? Pretty sure 50% of Africa is going to be on this list. Cuba. Democratic Republic of Congo, Dominica, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Fiji, the Gambia, Georgia, Ghana. I actually was not expecting Ghana to be on that list, though. I was not expecting Ghana to be on the list. Let's see who else is on this list. Grenada, Guatemala, Guinea, Haiti, Iran, Iraq, Jamaica, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Kuwait, Kyrgyzstan, Laos, Lebanon, Liberia, Libya, North Macedonia, Moldova, Mongolia, Montenegro's on that list. Morocco, Nepal, Nicaragua, our very own Nigeria, Pakistan, the Republic of the Congo. Whoa, Russia? I gotta text my Russian friend to see what they think about this. Rwanda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia. Some of these countries I've never heard of, like St. Kitts. Where's St. Kitts and Nevis? Where is it? St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Jordan, Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Thailand, Togo. This is the last page. Tunisia, Uganda, Uruguay, Uzbekistan, and Yemen rounds up the list of 75 nations with an immigrant visa freeze. So we've looked at that Twitter. Let me go ahead and stop sharing this for a second. What do you guys think? What do you think is happening? What's really going on? CJ, how are you? This is live now. Welcome, guys. Where are you guys watching from? Let's talk about this. I've stopped sharing my screen. I can actually now see what you guys. What do you guys think about this? Do you think, do you think, um, again, looking at that spreadsheet of the people on that list, it's hard to tell how many Nigerian countries are on that list. Sorry, how many African countries are on that list? Do you guys think that the president of the United States has a vendetta against immigrants? Or do you think this is a case of national security? Are Americans really at risk? Are immigrants coming into the United States to steal and poach and mine and extract American wealth, resources? Or do you think that the president of the United States just doesn't want immigrants around? TJ, I said he was live. Why are we reading this as if this is current US administration? Isn't crazy? No, we are reading it because 75 countries, that is the most expansive it's been in any American administration. So it's worth reading to know. I don't think, I didn't mention India. Is India on that list? Let me go back and check. Oh, did I not say that China would not be on that list? Let's see. I Nope, India is not on the list. China is not on the list. Germany is not on the list. Anglo-Saxon countries are not on that list. So this kind of seems to be like a brown and black thing. Which other country are you surprised or do you feel should have been on the list but is not? There are other countries in the world. Like where, CJ? You know, the United States, like I said earlier, this is going to be a domino effect. You already see what Canada, CJ, you're based in Canada now. You see what Canada is doing right now. Canada got rid of what, 6,500 people in 2025. So you guys are going to see that this is going to be a domino effect because other allied nations like mentions Canada, the UK, the UAE, these guys are all going to start clamping down. They're going to all come up with their own list of countries. You see, I don't think that these people, when people immigrate, and I'm talking about those who are doing it legally, I am not an immigration specialist. I don't know much. I mean, I came to the US when I was what, 12. In those days, the good old days, early 90s. I think Reagan, who was president when I came in 1990? I think Reagan was president or something. So people are moving on for, some people are immigrating for a better life. Those who are doing it legally, structured, legit paperwork should be allowed in. But then in the mix of that too, you also have those that are trying to game the system now. We talked about this in the Canada deportation blog, I mean, Canada deportation podcast that I did last week. The people coming in and claiming asylum and I question what is driving that asylum case. I know everybody's case is different, but how many Nigerians are really going in there? How many people is Nigerian government persecuting now? You know? So yes, you said that there are other countries out there. They are okay. So where are they going to go? Canada doesn't want immigrants. I'm pretty sure you already saw what's happening with the UK. They're really kind of cracking down on that. UAE is doing the same thing. We all talked about this. So let's look on the positive side of this. Do you think that this encourages governments of these nations to build their country? You know what I mean? Do you think it encourages them to be more innovative, create sectors that will keep people in, not only keep people in, but also invite others into the country? Do you think, let's look at this from a positive standpoint. What worries me though is the indefinite posture of the freeze. When something is indefinite, it could be a month, it could be 6 months, it could be the rest of Donald Trump's administration. And I don't think that the United States has the resources to be able to analyze every person and every application. So what are some of the criteria that's going to say, okay, you can enter, but you can't? I mean, what are they checking for? Do you have an education? I mean, maybe at the very minimum, anyone who's coming in, maybe you have a bachelor's degree or some sort of a high level skill set. You see, the United States won't dare block China. 50% of all AI researchers in the world are Chinese. You know they can't block India too. You mentioned India. India has the technical know-how. From the age of, let's say, 5 years old, the Indians are already teaching their kids science, technology, math, education at a very, very young age. Look, I was just at the CES that I just wrapped up a few days ago. Besides, let's say Americans, there were a lot of Chinese nationals, a lot of Indian nationals, part of the 4,800 exhibitors. All of those guys manufacturing AI components, building AI stacks. Majority of them Chinese nationals, Indian nationals. So in a way, when you look at the countries that are left out or the countries on that list, now let's flip it around and look at the countries that are not on that list. What is it that they have going on? Think about it for a second. China pretty much dominates technology and artificial intelligence. India, super close in terms of technology, artificial intelligence, building of data centers. I saw a lot of foreign partnerships with US companies. Like there's a lot of Indian companies that are investing in the United States ecosystem, helping to build data centers. When the United States is looking for capital partners, India is the first to raise their hand. They are the first to bring their money and their resources. So when you look at the countries that are not, don't you see a common, again, I don't want to go too deep into this. Maybe this is high time for Nigeria. I want to talk about my home country where I'm from. We are we're a cross-border organization here at Americats, US Nigeria markets. I know that President Tinubu said that Nigeria is innovating in technology and digital, but I just don't see that innovation. Where is that innovation? How many homegrown do we have data centers built in Nigeria? I mean, earlier in today's earlier podcast that I did, Walmart just partnered with a food manufacturer in South Africa to make food products for the Walmart brand. With all of the food, actually, that list is South Africa on that list? Let me check that list again. Let me check that list again. Maybe I must have missed it. Okay, see, South Africa is not on that list. All the Sahel countries. Is Burkina Faso on that list? I think Burkina Faso is already banned though. Let's see. Okay, Burkina is not on there. Even Benin Republic is not on that list. What is really going on? I'm trying to find a common. When you look at the majority of these countries, they are not stable, or they have questionable governments. Let me see the one that surprised me the most, guys. I'm looking at the list again. I'm trying to see what kind of pops out. I'm looking for an anomaly, like something I wouldn't expect, or a country I would not expect to be on this list. I honestly would not have expected that Brazil would be on here. Let me see again. Who is on this? Everybody else, I can kind of see. I was not expecting, honestly speaking, I was not expecting Ghana on that list. So now, the Magic trade show is happening in February here in Vegas. I'm going to be there. I'm going to cover that trade show. This is a trade show that Ghana participates in annually. So I'm wondering, what's going to happen. I'm going to observe and let you guys know. The trade show, I just got my registration um, earlier this morning. It's from February 18th, I think. It's going to last about 4 days. Is Ghana going to be absent based on this? If the exhibitors can't obtain visas, they're not going to come unless they give them a waiver, possibly give them a waiver. It's T-Mobile calling me. God knows what they're trying to sell this time. Let's see. Who else? I'm looking at this now. These are all kind of questionable. Oh, Pakistan. Yeah, we kind of already know Russia would have made the list. Russia's probably going to retaliate too and said Americans banned from entering Russia. Tanzania, Togo, Sierra Leone, Tunisia, Uganda. Yeah, so I guess Brazil and Ghana out of the 70. Even I'm not even going to lie, even Niger in a way shouldn't be on this list. But unfortunately we are. Um yes, there will be massive social revolutions in Nigeria and other countries. I would move back home if things were better. My dad, I told you guys this in the past. My dad wrote a letter to his family when he first moved to the US, not too long after he moved to the US, and he said if he were rich, he would be in Nigeria, not America. But you guys already know where I stand. America is always going to be number one. I mean, I love Nigeria, don't get me wrong, but I just kind of I don't want to be stressed. Even the richest of the richest in Nigeria, in a way, are still kind of stressed. You can't really, you have a nice car, you can't enjoy it because of the bad road. Majority of Nigerians are kind of, what do you say, they sleep with one eye closed and one eye open. Everything shuts down at night. It kind of depends on where you live, though. I think Lagos is okay, but for the other parts of Nigeria, it's problematic. We talked about this yesterday, how there needs to be more economies outside of Lagos and Abuja. Outside of Lagos and Abuja, what else do we really have? I've told you guys how Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, my home state, is states that I champion. Like Uyo doesn't really have a nightlife. There's really not much going on. You go to Uyo to make your money and then you go to Lagos to spend it. Maybe this is a wake-up call. I can't speak for other African nations, but I can speak for Nigeria. I'm not saying you should be defiant and go and reciprocate. That is not the way to solve the problem. But maybe this could be a signal for President Bola Tinubu and the leaders of Nigeria to start. But again, it's kind of one of those things where Nigeria has always been, you guys when I was a kid, I used to run. I used to belong in a relay. That was how we did things back. Growing up in Nigeria, you either played soccer, football, or you ran. We were poor growing up, so it wasn't as if we had video games. Even if you had video games in Nigeria, where are you going to find the electricity to enjoy your Xbox? You can have so my uncle in the oil and gas sector, he has a generator, this huge 50 kVA capacity gen that just turns on when NEPA takes light. So you never ever feel as if you're 24, literally 24/7. I was there. The thing goes off within 2 seconds. The light goes back on. But it's only what? Maybe 1 or 2% of Nigerians who can afford to be able to have that kind of lifestyle. For the most part, everybody else kind of tend to live in darkness, right? Even the wealthy, Okay. So now the KV 50 kVA high capacity gen, you still got to buy diesel for it. And heavens forbid the parts, you are out of parts. You have to import those parts. It's stressful. You may have the money, but just having to think about it. So my uncle's generator, no, it's transformer in one of his properties in Akwa Ibom went out. Transformer. Till today, still hasn't been able to find parts for it. Although he has money, he's well to do. But it's just that mental stress of having to deal with. Oh, I got to buy diesel. That's why I was saying Nigeria has a lot of unnecessary stress. That's why I always say, even I'm always still going to, I can probably tolerate Nigeria for maybe 6 months. My objective, though, eventually is to live partially there and partially here. But at least I want to have the option that, man, you know what? If I'm going, I'm just going to go for 6 months, just put my head down and do what I got to do for 6 months and come back to the convenience of the US. So the point I was trying to make about Nigeria, like I was saying about that relay, growing up as a kid, I ran. We played soccer and then we ran. That's what we did. So Nigeria, remember now as kids, when they say on your mark, get set, and you are waiting for that person to say go. You see, Nigeria is on your mark, get set. There's no go in Nigeria. So you are almost like stuck in time. You are frozen. Nigeria just needs to go. Go for it. And it can't always be. So I follow most of these governors, I follow them on social media, on Instagram, just to kind of keep track of what they're doing, some of their policies, to see if anything aligns with my content and I can talk about it. But one of them was, it posted something on social media advertising a governor's residential area or a governor's residential development. And I was looking at the ad, and part of the draw, the benefit is, oh yeah, a security post. How is security post a benefit? That just shows you where the Nigerian mindset is. It's not solar included. It's not 24/7 energy. It is security post. If you are still using Megad in 2026, you are a damn fool. Why are we still using Megad? Megad that if there's an issue, they will run away. Everything is still real estate, development, development. We need data centers. All these data centers that Meta is building, Mark Zuckerberg, Meta just invested $28 billion to build a data center in a country that is not in the United States. Why can't Nigeria, with all of the land mass that we have, why can't we open up Nigeria to companies that are building data centers? Fuck, give them Lagos, give them Niger, well, sorry, not Niger, Niger State. Wipe Niger State clean and give it to Meta and say, come here and build your data center on an unincorporated land. Something like that. Give them Borno State. Give them. Let them come in and build data centers. We are still doing, we still have, CJ, you there? Does Canada have governors or do you guys have, what do you guys have? Like the leaders of your provinces. What do you call them, CJ? The leaders of your provinces. Are they governors? When was the last time you saw the head, the CEO of your province pushing real estate? It's like, so the governor of Nevada will never ever in his life post a real estate development scheme on his social media page. You see, to Nigerian leaders, that is an accomplishment. How many more developments do we need? Where you push it and then you say, you see, the point is we are not, our imagination is not big enough in Nigeria. Maybe we need to start creating more to keep people. Pushing a real estate development scheme is not an accomplishment. So maybe this 75 country ban thing is good. I want to see Nigeria in the artificial intelligence age. Guys, it is no longer the digital age. Oh. We have passed the digital age. We are now in the artificial intelligence age. And guess what drives AI? Data centers. Underground servers. This is where we need to be playing. These are the conversations we ought to be having. It's not another governor real estate development program where you will buy the house. You are not going to be able to power the house. You will be largely dependent on diesel, high capacity, 50 million naira generator. Let's not even forget about internet connectivity. We're still having that issue today. And then we are talking about, I read it the other day now, you guys were on the program. 12, $13 billion in exports. That's peanuts now. Do you know that Nigeria in 2026 is incapable of exporting fresh produce? For those of you who don't know what produce means, it's fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, anything fresh, frozen. We don't even, all the cattle that we have in Nigeria, we are not able to export our athletic cows and our athletic chickens. Nigeria today cannot export fresh farm products. Instead, we are doing real estate. Don't get me wrong, real estate is a great investment. Okay, real estate is a great investment for individuals. But Nigeria as a country should not be in the real estate business. Leave that to people like me and CJ and Chemtrex and who else is on? Laja, Ruben, active blogger. The Nigerian government should not be investing in real estate in 2026. There are other things you should be investing, participating in. Come to, you know, I was there, CES 2026. Nations are investing in AI techs. Oh, better yet, since we seem to talk about Nigerian innovation, according to our president, President Bola Tinubu, how, what is the Nigerian artificial intelligence space like? You see, guys, I'm not talking about IT. IT is 10 years ago. I'm talking about AI. These are the sort of conversations that get people excited. Where is our own version of AI researchers? You see, guys, Nigeria and China, all the loans that we collect from China, the $8 billion that we owe China, the close proximity, the Nigerian Chinese relationship. Why isn't Nigeria sending Nigerians to China to learn artificial intelligence tax? Why isn't Nigeria inviting China, the country with 50% of global AI researchers? Why isn't Nigeria inviting China to come in and build or help train the next generation of AI researchers? But no, we are borrowing from China to build the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. We are borrowing from China to build basic village roads. We are borrowing from China to build, what do you say? Water, potable water for people to drink. Why are we not tapping the Chinese expertise? So then the new generation of artificial intelligence programmers and artificial intelligence platform developers. I'm not talking about apps. Apps is going away. Anybody can build, if you know how to write a Python program or Java program, you can probably build an apps. I'm not talking about apps. I'm talking about platforms. The platform that the application sits on. India has that market. Taiwan has that market. The Chinese has that market. We ought to start tapping these mental resources to be able to train the next generation of Nigerians. So perhaps the United States will then open its doors to AI savvy Nigerian nationals. Or maybe Canada would open their doors to AI savvy Nigerian nationals. UK, UAE, or perhaps we just keep those guys to ourselves and say, you know what, instead of you poaching our talent, come in to the country. Real estate development is not going to get Nigeria out of the hole that Nigeria is in. We need a skilled workforce. Unfortunately, do the research. We don't really have a skilled workforce like that in Nigeria. Look now, in what do you call it? This morning's podcast. OpenAI is teaming up with a company like Walmart to train their employees on AI architecture. How many Dangote employees? Dangote is the what? The largest private employer in Nigeria. Can Dangote today get on the microphone and say that his workers are artificial intelligence trained, AI trained? Okay, besides Dangote, who else now do we have? Banks. I said this yesterday. Nigerians love banks and we love telecommunications. None of these people are unavoidable. Nigeria doesn't really have anything that's unavoidable, meaning existential, meaning if this thing does not exist. You see, the reason I don't like dealing with banks or investing in Nigerian banks is because listen, Echo Bank can close tomorrow. Echo Bank is avoidable. Zenith is avoidable. All these companies that are all in the NGX, majority of them are avoidable companies, meaning I can do without them. That is why I like investing in unavoidable companies. You see, you can't avoid Dangote Petroleum. Are you guys following? Are you guys tracking? We need unavoidable companies in Nigeria. Real estate is avoidable. This one that the governor is over here pitching real estate development, 100% avoidable because I don't necessarily need it. Guess what? Tomorrow, another governor is going to come in and start their own version of real estate development. These are all avoid. These are all minor league stuff that we are doing in Nigeria now. Man, we need major league sectors. Not saying that people are still going to migrate. Just for the, okay, I just want to go abroad and see what I can steal in terms of ideas. Because nothing is new under the sun. Everything is repurposed. Nothing is new under the sun. So maybe Nigerians can travel and go and see, okay, what's happening in the UAE? What's happening in Abu Dhabi that I can implement in Nigeria? What's happening in Dubai that I can implement in Nigeria? Americans do that all the time. Majority of the products that are sold in the United States, businesses, are as a result of Americans going abroad, seeing what's happening in other nations, bringing that idea into the United States, tweaking it a little bit and making it their own. That's what's happening. We need to think. Can I take calls? Sure, CJ. Call this. I'll put you on speakerphone though. Call me. WhatsApp me. You guys have been asking for calls. 8311. That's my number. Call and I'll put you on speaker. That's my WhatsApp. Ring me. If anybody else wants to call in, that's the number right there. Just call that number. I'm going to pin it to the top there. I probably only have about another 15 minutes too, though, before my wife starts calling me and telling me she's on her way. I don't think we need social revolutions, CJ. We don't want social revolutions. We just need people to just, you see, that on your mark, get set, go. Nigeria has stopped at that get set. We just need to go. That is what we need. But we can't afford to be reactive in Nigeria. The world is proactive right now, and I'm going to beat this to death because I'm telling you, the people who own the AI tech stack will own the next 400 years of humanity. So instead of us still playing analog digital games, still playing tech games, IT, when the world has moved on from IT, people are not looking for IT professionals anymore. People are looking for AI professionals now. What is IT? So you can disconnect a cable in the back and troubleshoot this and that. Robots will do that. AI can do that. They need you to be able to understand how artificial intelligence works. How can you use AI to improve your workflow? How can you use AI to speed up your time instead of spending a month on something? AI can help you do that thing in a day. That's where the world is going. Nigeria is not in that conversation, unfortunately. That is why we're in the predicament that we're in right now, being embarrassed. We're getting thrown out of Canada. We're getting thrown out of the United States. They're not even stopping, they're stopping you now from entering. Where is the AI department or the AI minister in Niger? If there isn't anything like that, maybe we should create one. Because I'm telling you, follow the money. American capital, American money is going towards AI investment. Everybody is doing AI right now, guy. As a matter of fact, Meta is behind the AI race. Do you think Zuckerberg is scrambling? Why do you think Zuckerberg is throwing $1 million at AI architects? That is how much these guys are making. Look it up. I'm not lying. American companies are paying top dollar for AI professionals. They are literally AI professionals in the United States. They have a blank check. We are still doing real estate. We are still doing government. Oh, goodness gracious. If Meta is behind the AI race, that's a signal right there. Zuck, $28 billion invested recently in the development of data centers to support artificial intelligence systems. We call them premieres. Oh, is India? Nope, I already answered that. India is not on that list. St. Kitts, etc., the Caribbean. Okay, I can kind of see that. Please read all of my comments. I'm reading your comments. Ruben, welcome. Armenia. I don't think Armenia is on that list. Let's see. Is Armenia on that list? Let me go back to page one. Armenia is on the list. Ruben, Armenia is on the list. We need to start finding Rich for delayed commentary. I'm sorry, guys. There's only one me. Maybe I should. Okay, so I have a I have a 50-inch screen monitor here, and then I'm recording this on my iMac. Maybe I need another monitor just for comments, so I could just glance up and read you guys' comments in real time. Eventually, you see, this office is going to be like a full-blown media studio. The way I'm going with this is going to be souped up with. Literally, I'm turning this into like a media studio. Oh, another thing I want to talk about too, guys, is the power banks. I'll do a session on it tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So tune in for that. The stylish mobile portable power banks from companies like let me show now. EcoFlow. See these guys? Jackery. These are all brochures that I got from that I got from the conference. I'll do a session on this tomorrow on power. No nation can. Anyway, power is an entire different podcast. That's like another 2 hours if I want to get into it right now. So we're gonna reserve that for tomorrow's podcast. Okay. Nigeria's international reputation has suffered badly. Widespread corruption and weak institutions have put the country in a position where it is increasingly viewed as a high risk, poorly governed state. I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I am scaling back my investments in Nigeria. Do you know why? There's just too much money to be made in the US. It's hard for me to continue. See, I told your wife to call. Hey, baby, I'm on live. All right, I'll see you. Yeah, love you. So that's another 15 minutes before Kate gets home with the girls. So, like I was saying about scaling back my investments in Nigeria, there's just too much money to be made in the United States. American investments is safe. You know, it's just that a part of me is connected home. And I'm not one of those people that just goes to Nigeria for fun. I gotta have an investment, something that just calls me. You see, fun does not call me. I can catch fun in the US. I can hop on a plane right now, drive to LA. I'm sorry, catch a 1 hour flight to LA, spend the weekend there, come back, have fun in Malibu, drive out there, have fun in Malibu. I'm not motivated by fun. I'm motivated by, I look at myself like a treasure hunter. I like solving complex problems. The drive, anticipation, something new. And like currently, artificial intelligence is, my God, if you guys saw what I saw over this past 4.5 days, is it 3.5 days? Yeah. And then when I take that and I measure it with investment in Nigeria, it's like we're 50 years behind. So I'm still going to have a little bit of assets in Nigeria. The only thing right now that excites me, to be honest with you, in Nigeria is Dangote. That's the only thing. Outside of Dangote, nothing else excites me in Nigeria. Real estate does not excite me in Nigeria. Land investments don't excite me. You see these guys that are going in, they're talking about all palm. Come and buy all palm, invest in all palm. Really, in 2026? When your mates are building data centers and computer chips and GPUs, you are trying to sell you're trying to sell palm tree land to people abroad. If you are based in the US, unless you are just absolutely adamant, meaning you just have to invest in Nigeria, I will tell you, do US investment first. And then if you have something extra that you just want to connect you just want something to kind of call you home, then I'll probably talk to you about some other areas you can look into. Like low risk. Nigeria is a high risk country. Low risk land in the choice area too. That's if you absolutely have to invest in Nigeria. Otherwise, keep your capital in the US. Do you know why? Because most people in Nigeria right now that are well to do, they are investing in the US now. Nigeria is a young man's game. You see, me, I'm 47 going on 48. I no get Nigeria energy. I am just hanging on right now because my investment back home is helping to create jobs. If I shut down my investments in Nigeria right now, those people will lose their jobs. That's actually the reason why I'm kind of keeping things afloat over there. If I can, if I can help one or two people take care of their family by working, because me, I don't dash people money. I feel like, okay, that's me giving back to my country. But I was outside of that. Nigeria is a young man's game. Maybe if you're in your 20s, you want to do something. Look, I had the opportunity to invest in VGC, Victoria Garden City, in 2003. I passed on it because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anybody to guide me. So that would have been me, 22, 23 years old then. So when I see, when I follow these guys on social media for a reason. I want to see what they're thinking. I want to see where their head is at. But this everyday government development scheme, real estate development scheme, that is like in 1990 now. Nobody's talking about AI in Nigeria right now. Who? Who do you know that's talking about artificial intelligence in Nigeria today? CJ says, I'm calling you now. AHA, da 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 da. I don't know what that means. Oh, guys, stop talking and answer. You are not calling now. My phone is here. Oh, see, is this you? Let me call you back. It says you are unknown. Maybe that's why. Hold on, oh, CJ. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Are you that 902 number? You've called me like 4 times. CJ says, answer your phone. Oh. CJ, call again, I beg. Add StreamYard to your YouTube live. Okay, I will add that now. Okay. Would that help you call? Would that be better? Okay, CJ, sorry. I see you calling, but when I answer, nothing happens. Let me call you. There you go. CJ. Yes, how are you? Talking to you, but it's not you. Let me call you. It's me. Who do you think it's? Yeah, it's me. Wait, am I behind in your stream? You are. That's the issue with this. Hey guys, this Zoom thing, it's like 20 seconds behind. So I'm gonna have to let me pause. I'll pause the stream. Hello. Hello. Can you guys hear CJ? How's it going? It's going okay. It's going well. So listen, as you know, I'm one of your regular viewers. And sometimes I watch you and I think, of course, I know you know what you're doing, but I'm like, does he not know that our Nigerian leaders have no vision? Does he not know that they do not care about Nigeria and the people? That is why we have not advanced. That is why we don't have all these things that you keep saying, where is this? Where is that? They are not investing in the country because that is not their primary focus. Unfortunately, while there are some good ones, their primary focus is to make money for themselves. That is why we have no infrastructure. So let me ask you, is it not the people that voted them into? These are all elected officials, correct? So now, can the people be partly blamed? So tell me then, what is our leverage as a people? How do we hold our politicians Yeah.
hold accountable to us. This is the thing. I know this is not a political channel, but this is the thing that the West and other places have figured out. They are accountable to their citizens. We don't have that in Nigeria.
The problem that I think we're facing is you gotta have somebody to vote for, right? You gotta have somebody to elect.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's usually like where it starts. When you don't, so it's kind of like when you look at having to choose between two poor or two inexperienced people, you're just gonna have to choose the best out of the two bad actors. That's really where it is. For we just need more people to be in a position to be able to run for office. But here's the problem. Those sort of people are not really in Nigeria. They are abroad. Okay. What is the number one thing stopping Nigerians from going home? Two. Actually, there's two. There's fear and then there's lack of trust. Until those two problems are solved, it's going to be the same music over and over and over again.
How do we move? I think that we in the diaspora, we are the ones who are going to have to effect change. I just don't know how is you've talked about remittances and how much we send home. I just don't know how we harness the diasporan power that we have. Because, like you said, you see, even you're still drawn home, even though you're a capitalist, everything that you do is to, you invest. You want to make money from your investments, and yet you're drawn home, as well, even though
Right.
it's high risk.
Right.
Everything is high risk. So
Mhm.
the ones who
Correct. Correct. But then again, it's like, okay, so you have me, then you have yourself. Okay. So who else? If you think, if you, but where are they? But we need a centralized hub, right? We
you need to pressure the politicians. Things don't change because politicians want to do them. Yes, you will have one or two people who are visionary and care. The politicians themselves.
right.
It's usually grassroots. We have to force things to happen. We have to force change. The politicians, we need leverage and we need to hold them accountable. These are the problems that we have.
I cannot.
That's what I said.
That's what you meant by that, yeah. Yeah.
Do things out of their hearts. They do things for power, do things for legacy, they do things, to enrich themselves.
Right.
The difference is that in the US, in the UK, etc., while they are enriching themselves, maybe they will do 10% to enrich themselves. 90% is going to the people.
Yep.
We have it the other way around in Nigeria.
I understand. Yeah. You see, so there was a conference that I went to, a Nigerian convention that I went to, that this same thing, like a governor was supposed to show up to the conference. And actually part of the reason why I went too was to be able to, meet up with them and kind of share these ideas that we have. The person did not show up. And the person, not only did they not show up, they didn't even shoot a short video explaining why they were absent.
Unfortunately, the lack of interest, they have a disdain for the Nigerian people. It's unfortunate to say that, But this is the difference. This is why we cannot hold them accountable. They have a disdain for us. We have to change that. And again, we're not going to appeal to their good nature. We are going to have to find a way to hold them accountable because they are supposed to be working for us.
Right. Right.
Is the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But every year there are more.
Yeah. Yeah. So exactly. So there's this organization called the NIDCOM. It's Nigerian in the diaspora. I'm sure you're aware. It's like nidcom.com. Uh, I mean, I've been following their platform. They are more into helping Nigerians in distress. You know, it's like Nigerians will go, they'll get in trouble, and then okay, now NIDCOM steps in. I understand that that is part of their tentacle. They need to have that. But then there also isn't really something for people like Nigerians in the diaspora who are just looking for information or something to do. They're just looking for that figurehead to say, this is what we are doing. This is how we're building. If you're interested in investing, or even if you're interested in learning on how to invest, these are the webinars that we're putting together. Or there is no such thing, you know? Yeah.
This hard to find time.
Yeah.
Like we said, we're also trying to make it in this, in North America.
Exactly.
It is sad. I understand, but when you say that you're withdrawing investments, it makes me sad, because while I understand and no one is judging you at all, but because I think we need more investments, but with accountability, this is the thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we could vote as diasporans, then we would have even more leverage if we could vote. I know we can go home and vote.
Yeah, we can't vote offshore. You gotta like go in and get your yeah. But anyway. Yep.
It's not being has to come with accountability because nobody wants to just send money to Nigeria for it just to go into the same pockets of the politicians that are doing nothing. Nobody wants that. So
All right. Thank you for calling, CJ. We will definitely will talk more. I gotta set up the StreamYard that Laja recommended on the YouTube, something like that, so I can take calls.
about it too, and Laja did too. It's good. Then we can have a panel.
Yeah.
Or we can have multiple.
The same panel that you missed. Let's not even get
able to be there live. Listen, anything else you're doing, I'm right there.
Sounds good.
I'm excited. Yeah, so anyway.
No worries. All right, I'll catch you on the next one then, CJ. All right. Bye. So that's CJ. Elijah said, change starts with you, Rich. Listen, I've been doing this for 5 years. I need help. I need help, All right. You can host 12 people on live. Oh, you actually are. Oh, interesting. Interesting. CJ, thanks for the call for sure. So, you know what? I can host people on live. So, what I'm probably going to start doing now, guys, is let's say the next one, I'm going to start pinning the live link on Zoom onto the chat. So, I think actually I can get more than that. I think Zoom is like 45 if I'm not, because I'm on the baseline plan on Zoom. I pay like $11.99 a month. I think I can host up to like maybe 40 or 25 or 40 on Zoom. So what I'll do going forward, good points, Laja. Great point bringing that up. I'm gonna start posting the Zoom link live on the chat for anybody who wants to hop on. So remember that choosing to come on the program is you basically giving us a release to use your image and your voice and your likeness and what have you on the program. So keep that in mind. So let's do that. I really appreciate you guys with these recommendations. Truly, truly do appreciate it. We're gonna continue this conversation, and CJ does bring up a good point. Like, listen, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I want to do this until I'm like 99 years old, if I can. We need to start having these conversations. We all know that we want to contribute back home. Part of the reason why I'm pulling, my cousin actually pulled his investments. You're sad. He's based in New Jersey because it just wasn't really seeing the traction. He put all this money into something and it's just not going anywhere. After a while, you just throw your hands up in defeat and say, I'm done. I'm going to take my money elsewhere. So people are pulling, unfortunately, it shouldn't be that way. It should be the other way around where we are actually amplifying our investments. But unfortunately, the climate is just not the best climate right now. But I'm not saying still don't invest. Go, even if it's just a piece of land, buy it though in a choice area. Don't do the rural thing unless you want to put another 20 years into Nigeria. But if you're looking for a fast return, and by fast, I'm talking about something within the next 7 to 5 years, you want to look at something in a choice market like Lagos. You guys already know how I feel about Abuja. I'm not saying Abuja isn't a good place. I'm saying Abuja is risky. Lagos is more liberal. Lagos is more diaspora friendly. So you can pick up a property, a piece of land, and just let it sit. Don't fall for this. Let us help you plant palm tree on your land. Just buy a piece of land. As long as your land is surveyed, you are safe. And then see what happens in 5 years. It's going to appreciate. Maybe you flip it and buy another choice property in another choice part of town. That will draw you to Nigeria. And even if it helps you to give some real estate agents their commission, if your investment helps to create jobs in one way or another. I spoke to my team. I talk to my team all the time in Nigeria. I spoke to them again this morning. I'm happy that I'm able to. I don't want to be graphic about this, but if my investment helps to take 2 or 3 people out of the streets and help somebody feed their family, it's still something. But we can't have politicians or Nigerian leaders getting people excited about coming to and then they don't show up. You understand what I mean? We need to be able to have a town hall. When was the last time Tinubu was in the US? He's parading all over. I think right now he's in the UAE. You look at Nigeria. So you look at the United States. The United States homes the largest population of Nigerian migrants in the world. Tinubu is largely not present in the US. He's courting the Chinese. He's trying to do something in Brazil. How many Nigerians are in Brazil? Come to Canada, you see Nigerians. Come to the US, you see Nigerians. Where are these people? We need to be having these heartfelt conversations. It's not until Nigerians get in trouble that Nigerian need come will spring into action to try and bail them out. Why don't we create a program to stop Nigerians abroad from getting into trouble in the first place? There is, I can't stress this enough. Love it or hate it. AI is not going away. Follow the money, follow American capital. Everybody, every major US organization is underpinning their existence on artificial intelligence stacks. From the JP Morgans to the Walmarts to the Amazons to the Meta, Tesla, X. These of this Fortune 10 underpinned by artificial intelligence. Nigeria is still doing road construction. In short, make I stop there. We get excited about road. Road, granite, and rocks and sand is what Nigeria is still getting excited about. When the world is going artificial intelligence. Well, anyway, guys, we'll talk more. Catch you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna start linking the WhatsApp, sorry, not the WhatsApp, the Zoom link for those who are interested in participating going forward. Let's see if that helps a little bit, guys. Because like I said, I have a 20-second delay with the phone calls. All right, CJ, thanks for calling. Laja, everybody that's on the chat, I really do appreciate all of you. Hey, be sure to like, share, and comment. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the podcast because every subscription, every like, every share, every comment helps drive the algorithms. Okay? Talk to you guys later.